Hello everyone, so in this video, let us talk about the problem from Lead Code Biweekly Contest 128. Problem name is minimum rectangle to cover points. As you can see, you are given a 2D integer array points where points of I is x of I, y of I. So you're given different points on a 2D grid. And you're also given integer w. Your task is to cover all the given points with rectangles. So you have to make rectangles to cover all these dots. Okay, now each rectangle has its lower end at some x1, 0. So which means that the rectangle has a left bottom point at some x1, 0. Like it will be touching the, you can say this line, x line. So y-axis height will be 0. And x next is x2, y2. So the top is this x2, y2. Okay, so that is the whole thing. Where x1 is less than x2, obviously, like there will be some width to the rectangle, so x1 should be less than equal to x2. Y2 should be greater than equal to 0 because there should be some height to the rectangle. And the condition is that x2 minus x1 should be less than equal to w. So as you can see is that there should be some length to this rectangle, and the length of the rectangle should be less than equal to w. So you can make a rectangle with the maximum length equal to w. The condition on height is doesn't given to you. So which means that you can make a rectangle as high as possible on this y-axis, but the length in the x-axis should be at max w. So you just have to find out how many rectangles you have to make, the minimum number of rectangles you have to make to cover all these dots, coordinates, or using rectangles. Now you can see. So any rectangle on the y-axis, it doesn't matter because we can make as high the length of the rectangle in the y-axis. So the y-axis doesn't matter. The only thing that is matter is like what all rectangles. So you can all assume that these rectangles has to be made such that all these points come to this. You can say on the bottom. You can just assume that all these points, whatever wherever they are, just bring them down to the very bottom. Because height doesn't matter to us because whatever is the height, we can make as high rectangle as that. So what you can see is that now the whole question boils down to some points, and you just have to make rectangles to cover these points. So which means that, and there will be at most a length, like a width to the rectangle. So you just have to find out that, let's say you start a rectangle from here, and you know the maximum W you can get. So you can sort out all these coordinates by the x-axis. Okay, by the first coordinate, you can first sort them out. Then take the very first coordinate and try to fit in as many coordinates as you can till your x becomes less than equal to w. If less than equal to w, then keep on fitting and make a rectangle till that. Now, if it overflows, then make a new rectangle and try to fit the next points and so on. So you just have to make an equal spaced, you can say, segments to fit all these, you can say, coordinates that you have on the x-axis, and you just have to find out how many segments you have to make. So it boils down to this. So you just have to sort it all out, find it out how many segments you have. Pretty much simple now. Let's move on to the code part now. If you still have any doubts, you can mention in the comment box. Let's see that how you can do it in the code part. So what we have done is that because all of them have x and y, and we have to sort it by the x-axis only. So we actually just sort them out, and we have to sort them in a decreasing order. So the first should become very first and second in the x-axis. So it's easy to just sort them out using this function. Then it's always have to make one rectangle. Okay, and let's see this example as well. So this is a rectangle. Now what you can do is that whatever is the first coordinate after sorting, you will take that and start your building a rectangle from that particular point. So you will take the very first coordinate, x-axis, okay, and make it at the very beginning of the first rectangle. You will do a for loop and keep on appending all those coordinates in the actual rectangle, the first rectangle that you have, or like whatever ith rectangle that you have, you will keep on appending. You will make a new rectangle whenever the last, so you have to make a segment, okay? This is the, so I will always mark this as a begin. This is the like the begin of the rectangle. Okay. Now you will find out whatever is the ith point you have. Let's say you are on this point. Okay. Whenever you are on whatever point you have, whatever is its index, you will check that if that particular point index, x-axis index, is less than equal to w, then it is fine. Then you can easily take that in the same rectangle. If it becomes greater than w, which means that whatever current rectangle that you are on, that is this I rectangle you are on, take the x-axis of it. If subtracted with the begin, whatever is the begin of the segment that you are taking, if it becomes greater than W. If it's less than W, you will keep on appending. If it's greater than W, then which means that you have to make a new rectangle. So you will increment the total. And because now that is not in the same rectangle, you have to make the coordinate that you are as the new start for the new rectangle. So whatever ith point you are on, you will make that as the new begin for the new rectangle. So this condition only hit if you are gone outer bound of this W and you have to make a new rectangle using this condition. So now you will keep on appending to make a new rectangle and the idea of the total number of rectangles that you have made. Nothing much complicated, it's just O of n log n to sort. That's the main complexity part. And this is just a single for loop O of n. So this is the over time complexity that will take O of n log n for just sorting, and then this is O of n. So total time complexity is O of n log n. That's a very logical good part for this particular problem. If you're still having doubts, you can comment on the comment box of this particular video. I will see you next one with coding, and bye.